A person born with a penis or a vagina is a biological man or woman.
No dispute.
Okay. So, do you agree that the psychological aspect of gender is a spectrum, that is not binary?
That's what I dispute and I disagree.
Okay.
That's what I disagree. Because if we allow people's own self-identity, what they think they are, then it doesn't stop from being man and a woman, boy and a girl. They can say, I'm a cat, I'm a rabbit, I'm a dragon, I'm a tiger, and all that things.
When my 5-year-old comes to me and says, I feel like a girl, I don't engage him in any sort of conversation around, well, you were born with a penis, so you're a boy, done.
So you have a different approach altogether, which is sensible because they don't have that mental capacity to understand. What if a 13-year-old comes and persists until like the age of 17 and says, I feel like a rabbit. I'm a rabbit trapped in a human body.
Well,
how would you reason with that?
Let's make the conversation more realistic. Let's make it about what we're talking about here, and that is my son comes to me at 13 and says, I feel like a woman.
No, rabbit.
Well, that's a ridiculous situation.
No. It's about how they feel. Remember, the issue is not about your physical makeup that determines whether you are a man or a woman or a male or a female. It's to do with how you feel, internalize in yourself what you think you are, who you really are, not what you are, who you are. That I think I am a rabbit trapped in a human body.
Would you agree that the notion of a human, whether he or she thinks that they're a human, claiming to be a non-human, is more abstract than a human claiming to be a
I think if what determines who we are is how we feel, and if somebody feels they're a rabbit, then we should respect their feeling. So I want to know how you can come and say, no, we have to make her go to a doctor or get her treated, give her some medicines, some antidepressants, whatever. Why would?
I didn't say any of that.
So how are you going to navigate in this child's self-identity of being a rabbit? And they have persisted until the age of 17, because 1 year later they will be adults.
Okay. I will categorically refute and what's the word? Ignore or I don't choose to engage you in the conversation about a rabbit.
Why?
Because to me it's not the same thing.
So your feeling determines who she is?
If you're asking
is
me
that what your argument is?
If you're asking me what I would, if your actual question is, regardless of ignoring this conversation here, what I would actually do if my 13-year-old child came to me and said, I feel like a rabbit, then we would go to a doctor. I would have a conversation with them and then they would go to a doctor. Because I think that the claim, I'm telling you, I'm answering your question right now.
Please do.
The claim around a human genuinely believing that they are not a human is a completely different question to me as a parent.
Why?
Than a human saying I don't feel like this specific gender, which is only biological.
But if your child feels they're trapped in the wrong body, says, look, I have a biologically male body, but I'm actually a girl. That's how I feel. That's who I am. I am. So similar to this is, even though I look like a human, I'm actually a rabbit trapped in a human body.
I understand your argument.
I don't see a coherent approach. You as a parent, when it comes to boy or a girl issue, you respect their autonomy, not your thinking. But when it comes to their identity of being a rabbit, you are dictating what you think rather than what they think.
Autonomy at 13 years old.
So you think a 13-year-old, when she says, with a male body, I am a girl,
yep,
she doesn't have the autonomy?
No, she's still my child and she's still a minor.
So does that mean?
Are you asking me if I'm going to send him to a doctor to have any sort of surgery or chemical treatment?
I'm saying, would you say, I respect your opinion and you are a woman, a girl?
I wouldn't confirm anything. I
So
would say I understand what you're telling me.
Okay.
I understand the feelings that you're having, and I will.
Would you let that feeling continue?
Excuse me?
Until she becomes 18? Would you continue
what would I do to stop that feeling?
Would you let her, or actually this is him, feeling like he is a girl, would you let that continue, and then once they're 18-year-olds, you can say, let them decide?
In order to answer your question, I need to understand what you mean by not allowing it to continue. What do you mean by not allowing it to continue? I can't stop them.
Respecting their opinion.
Of course I'm going to respect their opinion.
So you're going to respect their feeling until they're 18 that I'm a rabbit.
I will continue to love them for the rest of my life.
I didn't say about love. Respecting the opinion. Their self-identity. Do you agree that you would say, I understand this is who you are because that's what you think you are, and you are a rabbit. That's what you feel.
What's the
I didn't say
alternative?
no. I'm not. I'm talking about rabbit. I'm
This
not
is
gonna
your
talk about
approach
rabbits.
because I don't think this is
Talking
all.
about a woman.
These are all mental instability of our generation, in which they've been brainwashed in different kind of things.
Like who?
How different factors. So what's important is to understand a child, as you said, doesn't have the mental capacity. So they have actually been totally outweighed in terms of feeling who they really are by all these external factors, and they think, yeah, I'm a rabbit.
Do you think that the conversation that you have with your child, whether it be at 5 or 13, will have no impact on their
Now look,
thinking?
with my
You're their
child, I'll have a serious conversation. You're not a rabbit.
And then, yes, I am. And then,
Oh, they're gonna say yes, I am. Okay, I'll feed them carrots, nothing else.
okay, good. And then,
Okay. I don't.
What would you do? Why would you feed? Burgers and pastas and?
to me, this is a ridiculous conversation because, as my husband
It's
said,
not ridiculous.
There's one is like is human, like
It's very important.
Different type of human, being a different kind of gender.
No, it's about. Do you understand what gender is? Not sex, gender. Gender is your.
Please explain this, and then
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question.
Okay, what do you understand by
We do have to
gender?
go. I know.
What do you understand by gender?
Tell us what gender is, and I have one
No,
more
no,
question.
not
We
me,
really
not
have to
what
go.
I mean. What is your understanding of gender?
I would answer that question in 2 ways. I would say we have a biological gender. We have what's on our birth certificate saying man, woman, right? Binary. We have a huge spectrum of various different factors in our brains, in our psyches, that, as you pointed out, are influenced by our time, by our zeitgeist, by all the different things that go along. That I personally would define as a gender. So if you're asking me whether that part of your biology is binary, absolutely
That's not the dispute, though. No one disputes that. It's the other part.
Well, actually it is. These guys over here were saying exactly that.
No, they were saying biologically that is not a matter of
Nobody
dispute.
disputes that.
But this
Zero.
other part, what you
Nobody
say,
says
gender
that a
is
person
how
born
you
with a penis
feel.
is not a biological
No,
man. Nobody says that.
the question
what
is
they are saying is that up
how
here
you
is
feel.
completely different.
What you identify
It's not
yourself.
feeling. It's
What is it?
It's the psychological aspect of gender.
Right. So if somebody feels that I'm a rabbit, why would you not
a
say
rabbit
this?
is not a human.
Okay, then dragon.
A dragon is
Yeah.
also not a human. It's not even real.
So why does it have to be human? Because it's who they
Because
are.
it has to be a real thing.
Next week is not a human.
Look, I don't understand your argument. They feel they're trapped in a wrong body. That's the issue.
There's any number of no. So there's this part of the psyche. If you want to say that the psychological aspect of my gender is this close to being male, whereas her aspect of being the amount of male that she has in her psyche that makes up her gender is over here. Well, I personally am actually over here. There's a lot of guys that I know who are a lot manlier than I am.
That's not the issue. The issue
it
is
actually is the
gender is determined by not just biology. The argument is it's to do with what you think you are. So I feel if somebody feels they're a dragon,
And then you know what I said
that's
to my
what they
son when he
are.
says, "What's what you think you are?" What you think you are is absolutely right.
So if
Because
they feel
what I
they're
think
dragon,
I
they
am
are
is
dragon,
absolutely
right? So
No,
if they
not
feel
a
like
dragon. It's not a real thing.
you are imposing your views on someone else's identity.
A dragon is categorically fictional.
No, it's not fiction. It's what they think they
A
are.
dragon is fictional.
Look,
A man,
look.
a woman is not fictional.
Okay, a cat.
Okay, it's still not a human.
What is after human? Because they are trapped in the wrong body. Don't you understand the argument? They are trapped. A girl feels I'm trapped in a male body. So that's what it is. This girl is trapped in a male wrong body.
Okay.
So she feels I'm a cat trapped in a human
May I
body.
ask you one last? We do have to go to the airport.
Sure.
One last question before
Let's
we
leave
go.
it, let's leave it,
One
because
last
you have to
question,
go.
please, because I value the conversation. Listen, one last question. Do you agree? Because we all agreed over there. I hope
Hope so.
that a person born with a penis or a vagina is a biological man or woman.
No dispute.
Okay. So, do you agree that the psychological aspect of gender is a spectrum, that is not binary?
That's what I dispute and I
That is what you
disagree.
dispute, okay.
That's what I disagree. Because if we allow people's own self-identity, what they think they are, then it doesn't stop from being man and a woman, boy and a girl. They can say, I'm a cat, I'm a rabbit, I'm a dragon, I'm a tiger, and all that things. You can't then bring an argument, but that's not real. But that's what I feel I am. I'm trapped in a human body, but I'm actually bunny rabbit. So you can't have an argument and saying, no, let's take you to the doctors because that's not right.
Okay.
So we cannot allow people's own self-identity to determine who they are.
Listen, I understand, I respect your argument. I do disagree with the
No
concept
worries.
of
Of course.
not having a spectrum.
That's the point of discussion.
But thank you very much.
You take care.
Take care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Go later.